Hi, my name is Jasmine Tigg, and I would like to talk with you all a little bit about Martin Luther King Jr. In high school, I always picked a African American historian to write most of my essays about when I was able to pick my own topic. And I always picked Martin Luther King Jr. because he stood out to me and he was my favorite. He was my favorite because he faced the struggle and he allowed it to humble him. He faced a lot of hardships and he dealt with them all with great humility while fighting for equality. He had a mass impact on the American life. Martin Luther King Jr. was a regular person. He lived a normal life, but he had goals that he set and he was determined to meet them. He was admired for his great humility and he was admired for achieving all of his goals despite his hardships. In the beginning of Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, when he was first born, he was originally named Michael King Jr. and he had his name changed at a later date. He started college at 15. Yes, college at 15. And he graduated with a bachelor's degree at the age of 19. Martin Luther King Jr. also attempted suicide at the age of 12, right after his grandmother had passed away. Not long after he got his bachelor's, he spoke out against racism and inequality. He did this by marching in many peaceful protests. He was known for his great humility, and what I mean by that is he was known for putting himself at risk and lowering his own importance. He was arrested 30 times over a period of just 12 months, and he was criticized for a very long time and called weak because he chose to take a peaceful route. He demonstrated great things by putting himself at risk, and he drew a lot of attention. He had a mass impact on the American life. The impact that he had on the American life is Martin Luther King played a major role in the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He made many contributions to the American Civil Rights Movement in the 1960s. He dedicated an I Have a Dream speech, and it was basically about the United States being rid of segregation and racism one day. Martin Luther King Jr. worked hard to enforce equality for all people, and in the end, his hard work did in fact pay off. Martin Luther King Jr. was determined to see a day where his dream would come true. He played a major role in the freedom that we have today. I'm humbled because of all of the things that Martin Luther King Jr. went through, and I'm thankful and grateful that me and my kids are able to live in a world where we are equal and we're treated equal.